As children, we all had big dreams and hopes. We wanted to be astronauts, we wanted to go to the space, be actors, be singers, be writers, and whatnot. But how many of us can actually say that we have fulfilled those dreams and are actually living our dream life? So, a few months ago, I stumbled upon Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear. As I started to read the book, I realized that she was not preaching in the book. Instead, she was only writing about stories and experiences from her personal life. And I found it really interesting, the concept and the new perspective on creativity. While I was reading that book, at that time I happened to call a friend, a long lost friend, and we had a conversation on the phone, and my friend told me that oh my god, we were so silly back in school, like what we thought of ourselves. I wanted to be a singer and then life happened. And that, to be honest, that made me really sad, because to be honest, life always happens. Life is all that will happen. We just have to keep at it. I feel really bad for my friend who actually wanted to be a singer. Although now she is an engineer, that's not bad at all. But I wish that she had continued singing or kept her passion of singing somehow alive. Being and living a creative life does not mean that it's not constricted to doing activities which are conventionally considered creative, singing, dancing, and art, and there are other things as well which can make your life more joyful and beautiful. For example, even setting your table for dinner, planting a garden, these things can also bring you a lot of joy. So what exactly is creative living? I feel creative living is conscious living, where you know where and how you're putting your energy into and where you're putting your energy into. And also it involves the courage. It involves the courage for you to follow your passion, follow your creative path. It does not necessarily mean that you have to compete in the Olympics. It does not need to be a competition all the time for you to be validated. It just needs to bring you joy. It needs to bring you inner satisfaction and contentment. I have been painting since I was a child, like any child who has grown up with crayons and watercolor. You don't really need to be the best. You just have to have the passion and the urge and the courage to do what you actually love. That also brings me to my next point, which is money. You don't have to have a passion which you can monetize. Of course, it will be great if you can monetize your passion. I would not suggest you to put pressure on yourself to turn your passion into something which brings you money, because at the end, then it won't be something that you enjoy, because that will actually put a lot of pressure on you. So now that I have told you what creative living is, how can you actually implement it in your life? Well, it's not very difficult, but all you need is courage. It's not only important to start something that you love, but I feel it's more important for you to have courage so that you can continue your creative living, so that you don't give up midway. Because we are humans, and to be honest, we are actually motivated by something, by a goal, by success. But I feel when you are living a creative path, success and failure, these things become extremely subjective and intangible actually. So whenever we take on an unconventional path, there's the society to tell us that it won't work, and then there's our family, then there will be our friends, and later on we also convince ourselves that yeah, maybe it's not for me, maybe it's not meant to be my creative path, and we kind of give up. And that brings me to my second point, which is the fear of failure, the fear of being judged, and all sorts of fear that the society convinces us to be scared of. And Elizabeth Gilbert, in her book, she also talks about fear. And she says that although fear is something that we don't necessarily need, because it will only sabotage our plans, but also at the same time we do need a little bit of fear. We need fear to push ourselves even harder, push ourselves even further, to work hard and achieve what we actually want to achieve. I hope you find your path, and I'm truly excited for you to go on that path and continue the journey, because of course it's not going to be easy, and at the same time there will be fear and doubt in you, and I hope that you overcome them so that you can continue your wonderful journey. To be honest, self-doubt is the worst thing and I still struggle with it, but I hope that you find some kind of inspiration and motivation to continue what you love to do. There is this term that Elizabeth Gilbert talks about in her book, which is the shit sandwich. So the shit sandwich is basically the uninteresting and demotivating or the hard part of a job which you actually have to do in order to be successful later on. Failures and rejections for any artist or writer or anybody, failure is a part of their job, and that is this shit sandwich that she talks about in her book. And so I feel all of us have to go through some shit sandwiches in our lives in order to achieve what we actually want to achieve. Let me know in the comments section below, what are the shit sandwiches that you had to swallow in order to achieve what you wanted to achieve. I feel life is to be lived now. As cliched as it may sound, I feel the book you want to write, I think it needs to be written now. And the garden you want to plant, the song you want to write, the guitar that you want to play, I think these things need to happen now, because life is to be lived now. And so with that, I would only like to tell you that I hope and I wish that you achieve all your dreams, and I hope you have the courage to follow the creative life that you want. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.